Welcome to the Nutrigenomic Nation podcast with Brian Highfield, certified nutritionist, author, speaker, and founder of multiple successful companies in the health world. Brian is known for educating healthcare professionals and others on improving their health and their life through breakthroughs in nutrition, technology, and biochemistry. On the podcast, Brian interviews thought leaders in the world of nutrition and natural health. He and his guests share the secrets of a whole life natural approach to health and the life-altering results you can get by making easy changes to your diet and daily routine.
In today's episode, we're visiting Wisdom Wellness and Colon Care in Sarasota, Florida. We're going to be talking to the owner, Rhiannon, who offers colon hydrotherapy, massage therapy, facials, infrared sauna and cold plunge, and nutrition services. All right, well, welcome to another episode. Today, I'm sitting with Rhiannon, who is the owner of Wisdom Wellness and Colon Care here in Sarasota. So welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we wanted to get to know you just a little bit. So give us a little bit about your background and what led you into the health and wellness field.
Sure, yeah. In 2011, and at the end of 2011, I was going in for a routine surgery, and I was having a lot of abdominal distress, and I went in for a laparoscopic procedure. It was going to be easy peasy. They were going to go in, they were going to take out the cyst that I had, and I was going to go home and life was going to carry on. Well, I ended up waking up to the doctors and nurses holding my hands, telling me they were so sorry, and that they were unable to complete the surgery because when they got in there, I was covered in cancer.
Wow.
And so they couldn't risk taking out the cyst that I did have in case it was cancerous and it ruptured, then it was going to be a big problem.
Wow.
So they closed me back up and sent me home, and I got a call from an oncologist a few days later, having me come in and then confirming, I had, late stage metastatic ovarian cancer, and they wanted me to do an emergency hysterectomy and follow that with chemo. And, I was totally blindsided. I never once ever even thought of the word cancer, And I just kind of turned my world upside down, and 5 days later, I was having a total hysterectomy, having all of my reproductive organs removed, and they wanted me to start the chemo 6 weeks later, and so it was, kind of in that 6 weeks that I was healing from the surgery that I kind of had the light, turned on for me little by little, to where I was able to make the decision to not do chemo and to kind of just really just clean up my life and my lifestyle and the way I had been living and everything like that. And so that's really what got me into the health and wellness industry. Is little by little, I went headfirst into everything holistic and alternative, and I tried every modality I could find at the time, and you really just really going into the nutrition and detoxifying the body and cleansing the system. And that's a long process when you're full of drugs and alcohol and all kinds of other things, foods and, things that your body just aren't meant to carry on in such heavy loads.
So what was that like, exploring different alternatives and going holistic versus traditional medicine, or were you doing both? Were you doing what the doctors ordered, or were you looking for alternatives also?
So I pretty much was strictly alternative. When I had made that decision that chemo was not ever an option for me, it was the other path. And everything I could find in that realm. Nothing conventional, really. No pills, no drugs, and nothing like that.
And how's your health now? Are you well now?
I'm very well. Yes,
good.
I'm very well, and I say, I feel like I'm Benjamin Buttoning. I feel like I look better and I feel better than I did in my 20s, honestly, and I'm in my 40s now.
Yeah, and so what were some things that maybe you discovered? Because I hear a lot of people when they get a diagnosis like that, they do a ton of research. what were some things that may have popped up that were just like aha moments, or things that really made you want to try those different modalities?
That's a good question. I kind of think like I was just such a sponge for everything. So I kind of coined myself as like the yes girl. So if like it was coming at me, like it was sent from God, and I'm a yes, I'm a yes, I'm a yes. And I kind of just lived like that for a while so I could try a lot of different things and see what, worked best and what, seemed to what helped me the most. And honestly, I think, nutrition and meditation is really and truly what helped me the most.
Those are the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so that inspired you to open up your own wellness center. And why do people seek you out for help? What type of issues are they coming in with?
Well, a lot of my clients will tell you they seek me out because God literally sent them here. I hear that quite often. I am a God-led practice 100%. I am God-led myself. And I really call for all of the people that, I can help. And most of the people are seeking me out for colonics or, colon hydrotherapy. And that's a really nice, gentle detoxification, cleansing process of the colon. We hold so much garbage in there, and sometimes it causes a lot of problems, going to the bathroom, and it backs people up, and it really contributes to a lot of the conditions that people are struggling with. It's really a lot of gunk in there.
So you really get to the bottom of the problem, then. That's that pun intended.
Yeah. I really am here to help people feel better, and if I'm a little piece of a puzzle in their journey, great. If I can help them more than that, even better. But yeah, I just really am honestly really in here to just help people feel better, because I know what it was like on the other side. I was knocking on death's door, and I felt like death. I felt like death. And so, and I didn't even realize how bad I felt until I started to feel good, and I was just like, wow, I never felt good my whole life. I never felt good, and I thought I did, because I just didn't have anything to compare it to.
And so you mentioned nutrition as being as a key. And so what's some of the advice that you give people that come to your door from a nutrition perspective?
Well, I think the probably like the numero uno thing I tell people is, no processed foods. Like that McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, like that's a no. That's a never, ever, ever. And foods like that, foods that are artificial, chemicals, and foods that are made to look and act like food but not really food. Those are no's, those are nevers. So that's the biggest culprit, I feel. But getting in good, wholesome, real food, it's really simple. Of course there's a lot of garbage out there, and there's a lot of trickster things happening to the food supply, unfortunately. So, being empowered also, understanding what is going on and where you can find good quality produce and meats and things like that. But yeah, I think it's just bringing it back to basics, and we don't need all the food that we have out there. And, it's really simple. Meat, fruits, vegetables, if you like vegetables. I know there's a whole, we could go a zillion ways with that, but yeah, just really simple.
Now, do you shop at Detweiler's across the street, the produce?
Sometimes. I shop there for some things. I do really like them, though. I do kind of have that organic label on a lot of my foods. So they, even though they're a farm, they don't have that big surplus of organic stuff. So, but I do go there on occasion.
So if you do just go to a farmer's market or to any produce market, what are your go-tos? What that you prefer, that you like to eat?
Yes, there is a farmer's market off of 47th Street in Sarasota called Jessica's. So if are you familiar with Jessica's?
No, I haven't been there.
My God, you should go. It's a farm right there.
Okay.
And then of course they sell a lot of other produce as well, but it's all organic. They do sell a lot of raw cheese products as well, like Detweiler's does. But Jessica's organic stand is wonderful. trying to think. That's pretty much where I'll go if I don't go to Sprouts. Earth Origins, they're okay. Yeah, I pretty much stick to Jessica's if I'm looking for fresh produce.
Yeah, and what's your go-to produce that you like to cook or you like to eat?
Oh man.
Do you try different things, or do you have a staple that you stick with?
You want to know what I love? This is so funny. I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Too.
Yep. I love to pan-sear my Brussels sprouts. I really like to do my vegetables in a wide variety of different methods of cooking to just switch it up. And I like to pair it with like a potato or a piece of meat or something like that. And I'm really big onto fruit as well. I really like fruits. As a matter of fact, last night I was at home and I felt pretty dehydrated. And I was drinking my water, and I was like, this water is not cutting it. So I literally took an orange, and I cut up my orange, and I ate my orange, and mouth parchment gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So you talked about the colon services that you do here. What other types of services do you offer here?
Yes, I do. Besides the colon therapy, I offer massage therapy, holistic aesthetics. I have a infrared sauna and cold plunge tub here.
I'm really excited about that.
Yes, it's really lovely. It's such a great combo therapy as well to use together. I offer sound healing and energy healing, and I think that covers it. Yeah, and then I have this store up front here that sells incense. My best friend and I, we have an online store that sells incense and other like little knickknacks and whatnot. And this incense is just amazing, handmade, imported from Argentina, using just beautiful oils and resins and.
It does smell good in here.
Yeah, thank you.
So talk a little bit about the infrared sauna. Like I said, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about you got a cold plunge area in there too. And so how do people use that? And what are the benefits?
So some people use one or the other. I like to encourage to use both. You rent the room out for the hour if that's the case, and the door is shut and you have total privacy, and it's dimly lit. It's really just about letting all of that outside world go and just kind of tuning into yourself and really just detoxing and kind of just again turning inward using that breath in the cold plunge. The cold plunge is great for helping with inflammation, pain reduction, increasing dopamine, brown fat activation, cold shock proteins. It's both of those are activating hormesis, which is so you're
go ahead and explain. Our listeners may not know what hormesis is.
It's just basically where you're inducing a short-term stress to the body that in turn is causing the body to strengthen. So mental fortitude, cognition, alert. It's just a really, really. Every time I get out of that tub, I just get such a big smile on my face, and I feel so good. The sauna, again, muscle stiffness and tightness after a long day, or if you just feel like crap, it's also a sure way to feel better afterwards. I like to invite people to take a sauna before they get a massage. Just an extra level of I don't want to say comfort, but just an extra level of like relaxation. Just an extra level of relaxation. There you go. So, and it helps me, because their muscles are a little bit warmer for me, so it makes my job a little easier. But
what temperature do you keep the cold plunge?
The cold plunge right now is at about 51 degrees. That's because I like it at that temperature. I've had it a little lower than that before, but sometimes it's harder for me because I use it. I use my studio, daily. I told a friend one time, this studio is for the community, but it's for me too. I utilize these services every day. Well, I wish I could use a massage every day. I can't massage myself really.
Yeah, it'd be a little difficult.
Yeah.
So how can people find you? What's your website and where are we located?
You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, at www.wisdomwellnessandcoloncare.com. Google. I have a presence on Google. And Other than that, I mean, I actually do kind of keep it. Word of mouth seems to be, or the Google search, that seems to be how people find me, and of course God. But yeah, the website, Facebook, Instagram, and then Google.
Great, awesome. Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time today. This has been awesome, and so it smells good in here. First of all, so that's the first thing you're going to notice when you walk in. You got a beautiful setup here with everything that you have going on here, and so I just think your story is awesome and everything you're about. I think your clients are going to really appreciate what you're trying to do for them, and I think they're going to walk out of here feeling a lot better than when they walked in. So that's great.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this, and this is really nice. I think it's wonderful what you're doing and trying to expand all of these different arenas to the community.
Awesome, great. Well, thanks again.
Thank you, Brian.